All right, I am back with a new video. And wait a minute, what is this? What's going? New hair? Who this? It's me. And I'm about to show you how I got it in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we are using the Afri-Naturals 3 times I define easy knotless braid hair. Comes with 3 bundles, and each one of these bundles are individually separated, the strands of hair. So guess what? It makes it so much easier when you want to try to do these styles on your own. There's no thinking, just use the same number of strands for each braid. Simple, it's easy. All right, so my hair is pre-washed, blow dried. I'm getting ready to show you my sections here. So I have 3 rows in the back, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 at the crown, and then in the front we actually have 2 sections split in half with 3 parts on either side. So that's going to be the front of my head. All right, so I make sure that my hair is nicely detangled. And I try my best, you guys, with these parts, but I'm going to moisturize with Almond J Twisting Butter by Pernille Rose. I love this stuff. And here we go. I'm going to part to the best of my ability. Listen, it's in the back. It's still going to look good no matter whether I pull my hair up or if I leave it out. So, you know, give me a little bit of grace with these parts here because I tried the best that I can, using multiple mirrors, clips, etc., just to try to get it right. All right, so I'm moisturizing the strand, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually crochet this hair in. So I'm gonna use some Shine and Gem conditioning gel just to try to keep my parts as straight as possible, and then also make it easier when braiding my hair. So I'm gonna take each section and almost braid down probably about a ½ inch. I know I'm going to show you it's a little longer than a ½ inch, but you don't need to braid it down all the way. This is just to create an anchor for me to be able to crochet the strands of hair in. So I start off with 3 pieces, and I'm going for my first pull through. Now it looks like I'm struggling here just a tad bit. What I'm trying to do is be very careful not to snag my own hair and cause any breakage. I'm going to pull these pieces through, and so for my first pull I'm going to have 3 strands of hair, and then I try to make sure that they're somewhat evenly separated in this little starting position, and then I'm going to go in for 2 additional pieces. All right, so there's the add-in hair. Here's my braid down the middle, and then I've grabbed 1, 2 pieces that I'm going to crochet in a second time. Now here, when I go to add this hair into this little anchor, honestly, I try to do the best that I can with not trying to confuse the different sections. So I'm trying to keep it together as best as possible here. And I'm gonna hold on to those 2 strands in my left hand because I want to make sure when I pull it through, I'm not snagging any of the other hair that was already pulled through. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're watching what's going on here, you see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm holding on to the section of that additional piece, and then I'm going to pull through on the other side those 2 strands. And again, I want to make sure they're evenly in there. Then the last thing I have to do here is make sure that I have 3 even pieces that I'm going to start my braid with. So I pull 1 strand with my natural hair, and then I take the 2 additional strands and I start to braid straight down. Now this part here is actually key because you want to make sure you braid the hair exactly that, straight down. I'm not going to wrap it around my hair because then that's going to cause this little nasty looking knot bubble thing at the very top of your braid that I don't want to do. If you just braid the hair straight down together, it's gonna make it look or give the illusion as if it's actually coming out of your head. And that's what we're going for in this style. And then here, as I'm braiding down the rest of the hair, now this hair is actually 52 inches, which is pretty long, but I wanted them longer. So I feed in 2 additional pieces as I'm braiding down. So in total, I have 7 pieces of hair for each one of my braids that I created. Also, what I'm not showing you here is as I'm braiding down, I continue to use some of the shine gel because for 2 things. One, it helps to blend my hair with the hair that I am braiding in. And it also makes it easier on my fingers because as you're doing this over and over and over again, you can start to feel some discomfort a little bit in your fingers from the braiding hair. So this just kind of smooths everything out, and it makes it a lot easier to braid. So just keep that in mind as you are combining your hair with the braiding hair. All right, so I have 2 sections done here. I'm getting ready to start my 3rd row. So I thought it would be easier to get a shot while I was in the bathroom trying to part. Again, give me a little bit of grace here because I tried to get the parts as even as I possibly could. But the good thing about this is that I'm getting ready to give you another shot of how you install the hair. Okay, so I started my little anchor piece here, and now I'm pulling through the 3 strands of hair in my first pull. Okay. All right, after I pull through the 2nd strands, you see I'm separating the hair so that I have 3 pieces to braid. And I just continue braiding down. Using the shine jam, y'all know what I'm talking about. And then feeding in additional pieces as I get further down, again, because I wanted a certain length for this look. Just another shot so you can see how my parts are coming out. And I'm not worried here at all because it's all going to come together. All right, you guys, I am finally done. It took quite some time, I have to be honest, because I was trying to focus on getting the parts somewhat straight so it could be halfway decent. I'll throw some pictures in so that you can see the job that I did do. I really focused on the front because that's what you're going to see the most. So my suggestion would be, if you're not a great parter like myself and you have to struggle through this this hairstyle or doing this hairstyle on your own, look, do the best you can with the back and focus on the areas that you can see. But with this style, it's easy to camouflage any mistakes that you may have made. So in total, I think I used about 2.5 bags. So each bag had 3 bundles of hair. Those bundles had 30 pieces of hair each, and I used 6, 7, about almost 7.5 bags to complete this style. And I ended up with 25 braids total. I actually didn't want that many starting out, but again, I was focusing on the parting, and I wanted to make sure when I'm parting the boxes that I don't put too much hair in there so that it doesn't look like it doesn't belong in the space. And then I didn't want to put too little hair in there because if you have this large space and this little piece of hair, it's not going to look good, trust me. So, you know, it depends on you what size you want your hair to be, but just keep that in mind that the strands that you use, the thickness of the braid, it has to look like it should in comparison to the size of the box that you are parting. The other thing, again, it took me a while. I'm a little rusty, so it took me a while to get a hang of the technique with threading the hair through or crocheting the hair in and then braiding it down. So don't get discouraged if you try your first couple of braids and they come out, you know, kind of wonky. The good thing about this is that you're doing your own hair and you'll be able to take it out and do it over whenever you feel like it, or you don't have to. It's totally up to you. Like I said, especially if you start in the back, you're not going to see these braids for the most part, unless you pull your hair up. So you can always go back later and fix those after you've found your rhythm. The other thing too that I noticed along the way is that if you find you're not able to thread 3 pieces of hair in all at the same time because your needle is kind of small, do it one by one. It was a lot easier, in my opinion, to thread in or crochet in the hair underneath the little anchor one by one rather than trying to like really get them all in there at one time, because I didn't have to, tug my hair or get tangled up. It was hard to keep track of which pieces I was holding on to make sure the whole thread didn't come through. So thread them one by one. It's okay. It may take you a little bit more time, but less hair pulling, less mistakes. You're going to be able to get that braid exactly how you want it. So just take your time. It's okay. The other thing too that I just wanted you to keep in mind is that you can style these a whole bunch of different ways. I'll put a few pictures in of what, I've come up with. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you save yourself some money. You're a new natural and you're able to style your own hair. This particular hair makes it very easy. Measurements and things, you don't even have to think about the width of hair that you're putting in. And it has a nice little guide on the back to help you if you get stuck along the way. So no worries on that. Put your fears aside. You're a new natural and it's okay. You can style your own hair. You don't have to throw out tons and tons of money just to get these protective styles. And you can switch it up whenever you want. So this should probably last 3 to 4 weeks depending on how you maintain it and take care of it. So I'll talk about some tips on that in another video. But until then, yeah, these are my results and I like them. Hopefully you like yours. So I'm gonna go because it's time to eat and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.